I'll wait for some people to jump on. I know there's a few lives happening tonight, so I just thought I would hop on here for a little bit tonight and either work on setting up my foundation paper for a new pattern test or switching out the quilts that are on the cutie frame and doing some quilting on there and showing you guys what that looks like. If we go that route, I'll put my phone on my mount so that you guys can have a better view. But I will just wait for people to hop on. Hello, Kim. Good evening. How are you doing today? So I'll wait until more people are on and we'll decide what we're going to do because I have a few things that I need to do. I guess I could probably switch out the quilts on the cutie frame and then come back to, look at this, come back to this stack, this fat stack of foundation papers that I have to glue together and cut out. Doing great, had a lovely nap. Aw, that sounds nice. I had a good nap today with Louise, but waking up from that nap was brutal because I realized Addington and Zoe did not nap today. And Zoe tore apart her room, like everything was on the floor. And yeah, it was just chaos. It was chaos. Let's see. I'm trying to, okay. Yeah, this is the first time I've had to do a foundation pattern like this before. Hello, Moldy Lasagna. That is such an interesting name. Wow. So I will wait a little bit longer. Kim, what should we do? Should we do some foundation paper piecing or shall we put a quilt on the cutie frame and do some like meandering on there? This is going to be a lot. My kids hated my spinach lasagna. Oh man. Hello, Christine. Hello, Melissa. Moldy Lasagna is new to the chat, so let's welcome Moldy Lasagna. I'm sorry that your kids did not like your spinach lasagna. That sounds terrible. All right, let's go over to the cutie frame and switch out. There's a quilt on there right now. Let's move this on over here so we've got some light. I'll back it up because I know it was bothering some people last video. I think it was bothering Nancy. All right, Kim voted for cutie frame. So I will set up my phone too so that hopefully I can get kind of like a decent shot of the quilting and what I'm doing, because I know it's hard to see her. So I have a quilt on here right now. I'm going to take the clamps off and then remove the quilt that I was practicing on. Aw, I saw you on So Becca and decided to watch here too. Well, I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome. I appreciate you stopping on by. That was a really fun live. Amigurumi is so much fun. I need to do some more crochet. It's been a while. Alright, and my kids don't really like my food either, so you're not alone. Let's move my needle up because it's a little low and it's kind of dragging on here. So let me show you. I think I showed on another live. Let me move this over. Maybe you can see a little bit of what I was doing. So I was doing some like feathered, like swirly flowers. Hello, Patty. Good evening. Everything's reversed on the camera, which is really, really confusing for me. I wonder if there's a way I can change that. Let's see. I bet there is. Let's turn off video. We are not mirroring our camera anymore. We cannot do that. I do not have the spatial awareness for that. Okay. Here is the quilting. I did some leaves and then I tried doing like just some feathers, and then down here I did a little bit, and then I had a friend come over the other day, and I let her doodle. Let me see if I can find it. She made a little rainbow. Hold on. Here we go. She made a little rainbow, which was really fun. She did a pretty good job for her first ever quilting, so that was really cool. Hello. Hello, hello. All right, so I'm going to put this somewhere. I'm treating it as like a practice quilt. So, yeah. And should I get an overhead camera, or is this like kind of okay? Thank you, Kim. Okay. So here are all of my clamps. It's kind of hard because like I have stuff everywhere. So let me show you guys. Here is the quilt that I will be quilting on the Cutie. This is the first like actual quilt that I will be trying to quilt on the Cutie. So wish me luck. I want overhead, LOL. Aw, that little rainbow is so special. Isn't it so cute? I need to film a video, and in the video I'm going to explain like why that friend came over, but let me go show you real quick, and then I will set up my overhead for you, Melissa, and I will get to quilting. So 1 second. Hold on. All right, so my friend, I'm going to make a video for the week. I'm like so behind on recording. Life's been crazy. Birthdays, family dinners, you get it. But anyway, I thought I would share. This is what my friend brought for me the other day. And it was actually kind of fitting because she gave it to me on National Sewing Machine Day. And it's this like super cute little hand crank machine. Like there's a needle in it and everything. And I just thought that was so sweet of her. Like, so nice. Thank you. Oh no, I went to the ER last night. Melissa, what happened? Were you standing on chairs? So I thought I would share this. I thought that was really sweet of her. Oh no, a postcard fell. Okay, let me grab my phone. I have this really amazing mount. So I know there's some YouTubers and content creators like in the chat. This is a great mount to have. I got it for my Instagram, like reels and stuff. It's adjustable, it's heavy duty, and you can get like a really good overhead. You can get pretty much anything. I love it. And like this attachment right here is obviously for a phone, but you could take that out and put like a camera mount attachment on the end. But this is what I'm going to try and use to get a good overhead of what I'm doing for you guys. Hold on. And my phone, I tried doing this the other week with Heather. Just give me some grace because I'm really bad at trying to do this. So here we go. Hold on. We need to mute that. Mute. There we go. Hello. Okay. So we are going to do it like this. I feel like it's also mirroring, so let me turn that off. Why is that the default setting to mirror something? Like, that is just the most confusing thing. Okay, it wasn't mirrored. That's weird. Okay. Let's see if I can get like a good bam. Let's move this here. Sorry guys, this is as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna try my best to make it good for you guys, but I am just practicing and learning as I go. Hello, Tracy. Let's see, what did Melissa say? No, Beth, LOL, my ARIA node on my finger turned into an abscess, had to be opened up. Ooh. Oh, Amazon, what's it called? It is an Arkon mount, ARKON. It is worth the investment if you're needing something like that. Oh goodness. All right. The next thing we're gonna do so that this runs smoothly is plug in my phone so that it actually stays for you guys. I hope that's semi okay. Let's get the quilt on there and see what happens. Like I said, this is the first time that I've done like an actual like quilt on here. And this is a client quilt, so I'm kind of freaking out, if I'm gonna be honest, that I like really want this to turn out well. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna be really upset. But you know what? I think it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna keep it like a very simple meander, and it'll be good. Let me know if this is like a bad angle for you. Maybe if I like move it back a little bit. There we go. So you want to make sure you get it semi-straight. I don't think it needs to be perfect, but we're gonna try. So I'm gonna try and line it up so that top strip is somewhat straight. And I'm gonna see where I'm hitting. So I have some room to like move this up a little bit more. I wanna make sure that I have my extra hanging out over here. Let's move it over to the side just a hair so I can really get into that area. This is all about positioning and repositioning. Positioning and repositioning. It's kind of like a game. Alright. Let's try and put our clamps on and see what that looks like. If we have to do some readjusting, we will. Yeah, I hope you oh, yeah, I hope you heal quickly. That sounds terrible. So we're gonna put our top clamps on. I'm gonna really try and get a good view for you guys. I hope this is somewhat okay. Hi, Nancy. Okay. Now, before I start clamping the bottom section here, or like hooping, that's technically what it is. This is like a hoop frame. I'm gonna move my machine over and I'm gonna see about where I can start. So I know I can reach the very edge of the quilt. That's good over here. And then I'm gonna see how far. I can't really get that far in. So I could afford to like move this up just a little bit more, and I think I will. So let's unclamp it here at the top. This is why I did not clamp it on the bottom, because I figured I would need to move it up just a little bit. How's everyone doing? Hey Beth, is there any way that you can take that side chat to take down? Yes, I can. Let's try that. Graphics. There we go. Let's see, is that a little bit better? All right, I'm gonna move it up. And we can try a different angle as well if this isn't like, this is not conducive to getting like a good angle. All right, I moved it up just a hair. I have these like in between my legs. Here we go. We're gonna plop these back on the top bar, or like the back bar. Try and get some good tension. And then what we're gonna do now is check it again. So I'm gonna move my machine over to the very, very edge. Okay, so that's not good. Now I have more space here, but I can't get over to the very edge. So I think just one more position and we'll be good. I've watched a lot of cutie videos, and this is completely normal to have to like reposition just to find like that perfect balance of needing it over just enough and needing it up or down enough so that you can reach. Okay, I'll move it over just a little bit more. Okay, I think that'll be fine. Now we can actually finish hooping it. Now that we've found that sweet spot. I can reposition the camera as well, so if this ain't working, let me know, and I'll try and figure out something better. Okay, now I can get all the way over to this edge, and I can get a little bit further down. So I know that I can pretty much make it probably about a 1/2 inch away from this seam line that goes all the way across. And that's okay, because honestly, I could move it just a tad bit back. Do I want to or do I not want to? Alright, let's just move it a little bit further back. About 1/2 inch more. Sorry guys. This is the behind the scenes. This is what needs to happen to make this work out. And I really just want to do my best. I want this to turn out well for my client. But I thought this would be a fun way to quilt it for her. Make it a little bit more pizzazzy. Hold on, and I'll come check out the chat in a second. It's pretty close to that back bar. Remove mine. There we go. It's pretty close to the back bar, but it works. It's not becoming a problem. So I think we're gonna go ahead finally. Sorry guys. And I will come check out the chat in just a second. Smooth this out. I really want to make sure that it's smooth. So now I'm going to grab my, let me check out the chat to make sure I'm, hello everybody. All right, now I'm going to take these, they have like these nice ridges right here, and those go on the bottom. So I'm going to hook it on there. I want some tension, but I don't want it to be too taut because then the needle will break. It'll get stuck and not be able to move. I also want to make sure that I keep my quilt as flat as I can. Sometimes the clamps can get it a little funky. There we go. I think that's a good tension. So then I'm going to grab my other one. Bam! Here we go. Nice ridges there. And I'm going to plop it on there. Alright. Make sure this like is smooth. Nice and smooth. So there's no like bumps. Does all of it come with it? Yes. The clamps do, and the frame, they come together in like a package. The only thing that doesn't come with it is if you want a stitch regulator, or if you want to do like an overhead bar, you can buy those from them. So now I'm going to take the end that's hanging off, and I'm going to roll it. I'm going to try and keep it pretty tight so that my basting kind of sticks and it's rolled a little bit straight. I don't want it to get too wonky. So I'm just rolling it like a little taquito. I haven't been on the tube all day. What did I miss? Hello, Marla. Welcome to the chat. There were a few lives today that I saw. Kathy was on live. Courtney was on live. Yeah, there was a lot of lives. I think Donna was just on live. She might still currently be on live. I'm kind of using my leg here to support the end of that roll. Okay. Now we have this rolled up at the bottom. I'm going to try and like get it nice and smooth. And then the cool thing is, let me show you. Let me move this over a little bit. So on the end, they have these little bungee cords with clamps. And so you can tighten them or loosen them depending on like the size of your quilt and how much bulk you have at the end. And you're going to bring it over and clamp it onto that bottom bar that you just used. Clamp it on over. There's 4 of them. Evenly distributed across the bottom and top of your frame. And another great tip, Melissa reminded me the other day to do this, is the little tails that are hanging out from that bungee cord, tuck in so that you don't sew over them. I did sew over them the other day, and I didn't even know it until I started taking the quilt off. I was like, oh no, that's not good. So I'm going to tuck in my tails. Here are the tails that I'm talking about. You don't want these hanging out because they could go on your project and then you could sew over them. So there's like a little clamp here, and I'm going to stick them into that clip. Alright, so we've got the bottom all done. No, I have not heard from Nancy. Is she okay? No, Marla, this is technically a hoop frame. This is a cutie frame from Grace Company. So now what I'm going to do is I also have this hanging out. This is the top of my quilt, the excess. So I am going to roll that on up like I did on the bottom. Let's see. Let's bring my machine closer. There we go. I can get that over. Just so I can get my machine over it. And move it over. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to roll this up. So I'll just roll it like this. Now this is the excess, so I'm not too concerned with it being like perfectly straight and perfectly rolled. I just want it out of the way so that my machine doesn't catch on it, because if my machine catches on this, it slows it down and that like affects my stitching. So, and again, I'm going to make sure these little tails are clipped in securely so that I don't sew over them. I feel like I need some music, some pump up music. Alright, I'm going to loosen this one. Actually, I need to tighten it. So it's really easy. You just pull on it, tighten it, bam bam. And then tuck in your straps. I'm in the Cutie Quilter Facebook page, and that's like a very common thing that people do, is sewing over their straps or sewing it into their quilt and then having to pick out all those stitches when they're done. So, not fun. We do not want to do that tonight. Hold on, I know this is like not the most fun part of it, but this is part of the setup. So, I'm pretty new to this. If you guys have been following along, you know that this is more of like a recent adventure that I've been going on. And I would love, love, love to take you guys along with me. But that means me showing you the not so fun parts of getting it attached on. It's a little bit slower, but I'll get faster at it. It'll be good. I'm going to clamp in this last tail. I know you can't see it, I'm sorry. And then we'll start getting to the fun part. Hopefully this goes well tonight. Okay, there's also a side clamp that I can use. I've never used it before. And let's see, there are these very, very like small ones that go on the side. So let's just try it out. They don't even have any writing on it, so. Okay, that just gives the side a little tension. You could get some bungee cords for the side all the way over here if you wanted more tension. Okay, I feel like that's kind of a good view. Can barely hear you. Oh no, hold on. Let me turn this up a little bit. All right, is that better? Let me know. Let me know if it's better. All right, now I'm going to turn on the machine. I turn off the power strip that's connected to, just in case. I'm afraid that my stitch regulator light is going to burn out or something's going to happen. So let me turn that on real quick. Okay, we're back. All right, so I guess this is the quick way to get started, right? I'm going to go all the way over here And I'm just going to do a meander. That's all we're doing. So wish me luck. Now you are echoing. It has to be my my other phone. I wish there's a way to. There we go. Is that better? Let me know, because I muted my overhead and that might be what it is. Oh no, now you are echoing. No! Is this better? Let me know if it's better or if it's still echoing. Yes, better, or yes, still echoing. Better now. Okay, that's great. I muted my overhead, my phone, so hopefully that should work. This is, you're going to hear this machine, so I can turn my audio down. How much quilt area would you say you have? I would say, let me go get my ruler. Let's see. Okay, so there's two parts to that. So you could have a different machine on here. I have a Juki TL 2000 QI. Man, that's a mouthful. But I have that on there, and it does have a significantly larger throat space than my Singer that I use for piecing and everything else. But you could have more space if you wanted to. If you wanted to get a Moxie or a Cunique or an Amara or any other type of machine that has like a wider throat space, you could do that, and you could increase the quilting size that you have. But right now, let's measure it. So I'm going to measure from the tip of my quilt to where I can measure. I'm going to move it down to the front. So I've got about 6 inches going down. And then I can reach going across. Let's see how far across I can reach. Again, if you had a different machine and your throat space was a little bit different, you could be working with a lot more space. So I've got about 6 inches, 6 by 31 inches I can get. So it's not terrible. And one size is the quilt. And what size is the quilt? The Cutie can quilt up to any size quilt. So that's good. You're center fine. All right, let's go. Let's do it. So we are going to turn on the machine. I hope you can kind of see. Turn on the machine, and then I'm going to go off to the batting so that I don't have to like backstitch. I'm going to pull up my bobbin thread, needle down, needle up. Oh man. It's really hard to see on the batting. Alright, maybe I will go get my tweezers. Hold on, I should have had them with me. Okay, maybe we will go on over to this section because it's easier to see where that bottom thread is. I'm going to make sure my cords aren't going crazy. We're going to do needle down, needle up, pull on that thread. Why is this so hard? This is like my least favorite part because it takes me forever sometimes. I think it's because I cut my thread a lot, and so it makes it super, super short on the bobbin. Come on, pull that thread up. Come on. 4 hours later. I don't even see it coming up. I hope I have a full bobbin in there. Pretty sure I do. Sorry guys, this isn't my least favorite part. That's so frustrating. Okay, let's check this real quick. I think she found the directions on the FB group. Yes, in the Cutie Quilter group, I do have the file, so I can share it with you. I'm going to check my bobbin area real quick. Probably shouldn't be doing this with, I got it in there. I might just change my bobbin and see if that fixes it. Yeah, someone was so nice and shared the instructions in that group. Alright, I think my bobbin is empty. All of that work, guys, for my bobbin to be being funny. Oh shoot, we do not want that. Let's move it on over here. There we go. And I'm going to open up my bobbin case and pull out my bobbin, which is really hard with this. I don't even see this in here. We're going to pull this out. Oh, I really don't want to have to undo this, but it's like stuck in there. Oh, turds. Oh, turds, guys. This is behind the scenes, man. Great, I make all kinds of stuff from PVC pipe. It's amazing. You need to talk a bit louder. Oh, I'm so sorry. I will, I'm sorry. I will turn on my audio a little bit higher too for you, since I'm all the way over here. Let's check my bobbin. You know what? That's plenty of thread. I don't know why it's giving me a problem. Hold on. Ah! No! I don't need the file. I just think it's great that you made them. Actually, my husband made it for me. He is the best. I like sent him the file, and he went to the warehouse place, to like Home Depot or wherever, and did it for me. This is so frustrating because I have my quilt hooped on the bottom, and it's too low to where I can't open up my bobbin case to put this back in. So, man, you guys are just seeing it all. Let me turn this up a little bit for Marla. Is that better? I need to lift this up. Good thing the bottom bars are like the easiest to get back going. So let's take our bobbin. Let's put it back in. I just don't think there was enough extra hanging out in the bobbin party area. There we go. Now we get to do this again. Hi, Millie. Alrighty. We're clamping it again. I swear we'll get some quilting done tonight. Hopefully. All of this work to have to redo this part. Come on. There we go. I want to make sure it lays flat. Enjoy my dog drinking water. Sounds of the basement. Sound of the goody basement. Alright. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you. Alright. Luckily, I did not let this unroll, so this will be super easy just to clamp back onto the, like, plastic clamp rods, whatever you call them. Clamp them on. In theory, my bobbin should pull up better because I like pulled the thread out a little bit more. Alright, let's make sure this is laying flat before we get started because I think it's going to work this time. Turn our machine back on. And we're going to do thread down, thread up, pull on that. Oh, lovely. Lovely. That's exactly what I want to see. Get your tweezers out. Pull that up. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. That's what we want to see. All right, I guess now is the time to get quilting. So wish me luck. If we hear any cursing, I'm sorry. I tried to do a very good job at not cursing on here. but if this goes awry, you might hear some funny words. I'm going to really try not to. I've been practicing my movements, so hopefully. So make sure your presser foot goes down. That's something that's easily missed with the Cutie because your project sits pretty flush with your foot already without the presser foot down. And so if you don't do that, then your bottom threads will just get like super loose and all over the place. We don't want that. So I'm going to go like hover over right where that bobbin thread came out, and I'm going to press the button on my stitch regulator up here. Of course you can't see it because you're looking down here, but there's a button that says on and off. So I'm going to press it, the light's going to turn green, and it's going to start stitching. So wish me luck. We're going to do a meander. Here we go. I'm so nervous. Here we go. Okay, before I get started, I'm going to press the button and I'm going to stay in the spot that I'm starting for a few stitches just so it's a little bit more secure. So here we go. Alright, and that's pretty much where I can reach. So I bet actually went up pretty well. Good night, moldy lasagna. Oh, I'll see you soon, okay? Thanks for hopping in to the chat. Alright, and I cut my thread there. Another good thing to do, since you can only reach so much when you're doing this, is to use like a piece of masking tape and kind of mark, okay, this is the furthest I can go this way. This is the furthest I can go this way. And then put it on the top and bottom. You'll pretty much know about how far you can go on your top section because you're going to hit these bars. You're going to be super, super close. So you don't necessarily need a piece of tape for this part, but it is helpful side to side and then on the bottom because you don't want to get too far down and not be able to go further in your design and then get stuck, if that makes sense. Good night. Good night, Marla. Thanks for hopping on for a little bit. It was so nice to chat with you. Have a good night. Oh, thank you. Okay, so now, since this is the furthest we can go, how about we slide the quilt over this way, so that we can get this section. And so I have a really good like reference for about where I need this quilt to be in relation to like the clamps, like how far it needs to be, so that I can get the same distance just about to finish that whole row. I think it turned out pretty nicely. Should I take my phone and show you guys? Here we go. Let's do it. All right. I hope this is showing. It is kind of some crazy fabric, but there is my meander. You can see it better in the yellow, but it is like a light gray color. I figured just use that. It'll be forgiving. But it is kind of hard to see like where you stitched because I don't want to run over any stitches that I've already done. So that's probably the one thing that makes it a little bit hard. But I think that ended up going pretty well. So let's keep going. Put you guys back over here. Hope that's a good view. Let's see. Okay, that's good. So now what we got to do, how big is the frame, Beth? The frame is, I can measure it. Hold on. Let me unclamp these bad boys. The frame, I think you can adjust it, how far back it goes. The frame is about 47 inches, and right now I have it at like 12 inches deep, but I'm pretty sure, nope, okay, so yeah, I think that's, the adjustable part would be how high. You can adjust the height of it to where, like where your fabric lays, you know what I mean? Like, let me think. You can adjust the height here, like how close it meets with your needle. So you can adjust that part, and they recommend that you do it to where you can fit a finger underneath your project and like the bed of your machine, or like the throat bottom. I don't know the technical terms, people. So I'm gonna unclamp here. Honestly, my biggest concern now is I'm pretty comfortable with the meandering. That's not as much an issue. My problem or my fear is that like we just broke thread. So like we had to cut our thread and stop. So my concern is I want to make sure that I have a secure stitch. So I'm going to try and pull my thread up about where I stopped, back stitch just a hair, and then continue on with my design. That's what I'm going to try. And hopefully it works out. Hopefully. So I'm going to reclamp about where I was. That's a little too close. I need just a little bit. There we go. Better. That's still a little close, but we'll see what happens. The binding is going to come over the edge, so I'm not too concerned with the top and bottom having like the meander visible there, because the binding will cover it up a hair. So I'll focus more in like this area. Okay. Reclamp your bottom. If you guys are interested, I have mentioned this YouTube before, but if you're interested in learning more, especially from someone who knows what the heck they're doing, I'm obviously learning. There is a great YouTube account called The Closet Quilter, and she has a cutie set up in her closet, and she posts amazing resources and informative videos for people curious about the frame. So is that how wide your projects can be only? No, this can quilt up to any size. You just have to, like what I'm doing right now, you have to unhoop, hoop, unhoop, hoop. More like unhoop, reposition, hoop, unhoop, reposition, hoop. So you can quilt any size. You do have to, have a leader situation going on if needed, depending on your project. So like for this one, I just put a lot of extra at the top and bottom to serve as my leader so that I can reach the points that I want to reach. Okay, everything's clamped up. Let's do the side over here, all the way over here, so that it's straight and taut. All right. I'm going to do like a test. I'm going to pull my presser foot up so that I can like pull my string or my thread. And I'm going to see if I can make it all the way over. I can make it all the way over, pretty much to the point that I want to. So let's see if you can see this. Let me move this. This is what I'm talking about. So technically, I can't get all the way over. I'm seeing about at least an inch to where I'm not getting to the edge of my project. For me, it's okay because my binding, I do a very like thick, chunky binding. I usually like to go with a 3-inch binding. So I'm not concerned about this not going all the way off the edge because the binding is going to cover it up. That's going to be fine. So I'm going to go back to where I was. I'm going to pull my bobbin thread up just about where I ended. Get my tweezers, pull that bobbin thread out, presser foot down, don't forget it, and I'm going to start and do a tiny little back stitch. That's the only thing that would be aggravating. Yes, it is some work, but if you think about it, the price of it, the functionality of it, you can attach pantos, like you can buy the rolls of pantos, and I have a laser that I can put on like a handlebar and I can trace the pantos, and you can like quilt, you can long arm quilt to your own quilts. And so I think the value of it and just like the overall having fun, it's fun, is worth the aggravation that comes with it. And in time, those repositioning, when you have to reposition it, it's going to get easier. You're going to get better at it. So I'm just taking this as I learn. All right, I'm going to do exactly what I just said. I'm going to start right where I ended, do a little back stitch, and continue my meander. So here we go. And another possibility, if I didn't like how this ended off, because it's not perfect on this edge, you can see that I hit where I was. If I would have put a piece of tape on it, I could have avoided that and made this like more curvy. It's got kind of like a box shape to it. I could also trim my border down. If it's so bad and I'm not loving it, I have the flexibility. Like you could make your quilt a little bit larger and you could trim it, you know, put some borders on there and trim it down if you didn't like it. Had to get my little clippers. So now what are we going to do? Anyone have any guesses? I'm going to trim this thread down. Okay. Now we are going to unhoop it. Are you going to be on for a bit? If so, I'm going to pass the wrench to you. I am heading to sleep. Hello, Courtney. Right now, lifeguard on for 900. Whoa. All right, now we are going to unhoop and reposition. We're going to move it down though, and we're going to move it back on over to kind of like this left side where we started. I'm going to try and keep this rolled for the most part so that I don't have to put in as much work. Take my top clamps off. Okay. Good night, Melissa. I hope your finger gets better. Yeah, those antibiotics are tricky. Gonna unhoop down here. Unclamp, unhoop, whichever way. Okay, And then we are going to move it back over here. And this is when we're going to start playing and seeing about where we can reach. Again. And I think I'll get better and better at kind of eyeballing and being like, okay, that's the furthest over I can go in this direction. This is the other direction. It'll get better. And I'm just going to do this the whole way down the quilt. So, let's see. Let's move our quilt over, or our machine over and see. Okay, that's perfect. I have plenty of room. I can start over on the batting and not have to backstitch. I love that. Let's move it on back over. Beep. Get it a little bit taut. And this is kind of like the perfect project for me right now to be practicing this, because the fabric is very wild. So any inconsistencies in the quilting, especially with that light gray thread, it's not going to show up. It's not going to be very apparent, or at least that's the hope, right? So I'm not too worried. I think, you know, for who this is for, she is not a, she's like a 3-year-old, you know, she loves Star Wars. And that's something that I've had to like remind myself of, because this is pretty simply pieced. It's a very simple piece quilt. I wanted to get crazy with it and make it fun and do all of these things. But then when I was thinking about it, I'm like, okay, she wants to see the fabric. You know what I mean? She doesn't care about stars or, you know, secondary patterns. None of that. She wants to see the characters that she recognizes. She wants to see that. And for me to do that, I can't really cut up the fabric too much, because then I'd be cutting into all the characters that she really likes. So I had to like remind myself, hey, it's okay. It's okay to make it a little bit more simple. It's for a kid. Even simple quilts are fun and pretty and deserving of being loved. Hello, Marie. So we got it hooped on. And this is when, let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to make sure my little strands are over here. Hold on, let me get a piece of tape and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I want to know beforehand how far I can get into my quilt. How deep and how far across I can. So I'm going to use some masking tape right here. La la la! And I'm going to peel out just a small little piece. I'm going to move my machine over. Okay, it did shift a little bit further, but it's okay. We are fine with that. So this is as far as I can go this way. So I'm going to put my tape down there, and I'm going to move my machine up. And I know this is as far down as I can get. So I'm going to put my piece of tape there. And this is telling me that I need to stop before I get to this, or I'm going to run into my throat or my clamps. So I'm going to put it a little bit before, just so that I know. There we go. And we're going to move it on over. Oh, I guess it'd be a little bit easier to move it if I would roll up the top section. And clamp it out of the way so that my pretty machine can reach where it needs to reach to do this quilting. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to go all the way over here. And I know that this is where it stops. This is where it hits the frame. So I'm going to take my tape again, and I'm going to mark where I need to stop. So I'm going to put this just a hair or so before that so that I have enough room to stop what I'm doing. And then, since I'm going to be all the way over here, let's put another reference point for the bottom section. Poor Louise. I got her to sleep, and then she woke up with Austin. So he's up there with her. All right, let's move it on over. How about we do one more line, and then I'll let you guys go for the rest of your night and see if I can assist. All right, here we go. Thread down, or needle down, needle up. It's gonna give me some hassle because I cut my thread with my machine. Come on. It's not even. Come on. Why do I have this issue with my bobbin? We'll be here all night, guys. All night. I need to find a better way to do this. Because it is frustrating that I have this much trouble. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, right? That's what we're doing over here. Man, does anyone else have that issue with their Juki? Yeah, I know, Beverly. I know. Insanity, you're watching some insanity unfold. So I'm just going to keep trying and hope that it comes up. I'm not out of thread, or bobbin thread, I know that. Oh, let's try a different area. Man, this is so frustrating. I need to stop using my thread cutter, I think, and just cut it from the top and bottom, because I think what's happening is I use my thread cutter on the machine and it cuts that bobbin thread so short to where when I'm ready to get back into quilting, I don't have enough thread hanging out in the bobbin to pull up. Ugh. You guys, this is where the cursing might start. Just click on out. Click on out. I don't see any thread hanging out in my bobbin case. Yeah, look at this, guys. This is how much thread is hanging out when I cut my, hold on, when I cut my thread with my machine. Just that tiny little bit. I don't even know if you can see that. So I'm going to pull it out just a little bit more. I think there's enough in here to where I could get across. Oh my goodness. You guys are going to see how clumsy I am. Well, you know what? Let's just, for the sake of this video, it shouldn't be doing that, Beth. I think it's because I'm cutting my thread. You know what? Screw it. We've got a bunch of thread. I'm going to get another bobbin. Where is my bobbin boat? Here is my bobbin boat. This thing is amazing. So I use it for my Juki bobbins. Love it. I'm going to take a full bobbin. Don't worry, y'all. This will be used in the future. This thread, I'm not throwing it away or anything, or being wasteful. I'm just going to put in a full bobbin so that you guys don't hear me cursing at the storm in a little bit, trying to figure it out. Okay, we want to put it in like this and through the tension discs. And then we're going to pull out this to lock it in place, and we're going to stick it in there. I hate the sound of my needle like dragging across my quilt. It is very hard to get into my bobbin case when a quilt is on here. Poor Louise. I'll do one more line. Okay. All right, let's see if that helped anything. If it did, we know that's the problem. Don't cut it with a machine, cut it with scissors. Yes, I'm going to try that next. here we go. If it pulls up just fine, we know that the problem was it was too short. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Get your tweezers and pull the bobbin thread up. Okay. When you are ready to cut your thread, then you need to bring bobbin thread up and then hook it in the place with the snips. Oh, okay. Okay, press your foot down. I'm going to stop and back stitch a little bit. Come on, turn on. There we go. And then I'm going to thread up, thread it on up, and I'm going to cut from the bottom. If I can. It's kind of like tight on up in there. That's a big cat. Don't cut with the machine when you're ready. Okay, let's see. I can't even get to there. So we're going to have to cut the thread at the machine, and you guys are going to have to hear me complain about it later on. Because I don't know why it does that. Okay, let's see what we just did. A little bit closer. Oh my goodness, my phone I thought was plugged in this whole time. It's not on. That is... Okay, here we go. Can you guys see that? Probably not that well. Let's see, how can we do this? Let's move this over here. There's a little bit of better lighting. Can you see those meandering lines? I think they look pretty darn good, if I say so myself. I'm tooting my own horn. But I feel pretty comfortable with this. This is going a lot better than I thought it would. So that's a really good pass. Let's put it back on. Should I finish this pass? And, hold on, there we go. Should I readjust and make another, like, finish this row of quilting? Or am I boring y'all? I'm going to clip my thread so that I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited to give this to my client and be like, yeah, I quilted this. This is my first, like, quilt on here. I've done a wall hanging, and I've done a tiny, tiny, tiny little FPP block. So let's unhoop and reposition. Maybe I should check the back. Should we check the back to make sure there's nothing funky going on? I have not checked the back. Hopefully there's no surprises, like bunching up or any of that. That's my biggest concern is like it bunching up in the back somehow, even though I'm trying to keep that as straight and smooth as possible. What kind is she, Courtney? All right, let's keep going. We're gonna just scoot this on over. Scoot it on over. Scoot it on over. There we go. Alright, I need to find a better like clamp situation. Like where to put my clamps when I... How was everyone's week so far? I mean, we're already to Friday almost. Anyone have any fun plans for the weekend? Any projects that they're going to work on? I have a load of FPP to do. I don't know if I'm going to get a ton of it done this weekend because we have the quilt walk on Saturday in Liberty, Missouri at Angela's shop with Tula Pink. I'm going to go to that and bring my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law with me and get my book signed by Angela Walters. I'm literally going to die. I'm going to see her and I'm just going to be like, hello. Thank you for just like existing. You're amazing. I'm really excited. And then Father's Day. Are you guys doing anything special for the fathers in your life? It reminds me, I need to message my in-laws. It's kind of funny because our family, like my husband's side of the family, I know we're all family, but specifically his side, we never like really schedule anything. We always just know and assume that we are going to be seeing each other, like on any holiday. So even though we haven't like gotten the details down of what we're going to do, I do know that we will be getting together probably for like a brunch of some sort with my parents, Michaela, my sister-in-law's parents, and my in-laws, which is really fun for the kids because they get to see like a big happy family. And they call them their people. They get to see all of their people. I was planning to go to that, Beth, but can't. Life happens. Oh, Kim, I'm so sorry. Christine, pictures, Beth. Share pictures. I will share all the pictures. I kind of want to take my camera and do some recording, but I'm like really self-conscious about that, especially like with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law going. Like I don't want to be like, I don't know. I don't want to get embarrassed. Not that I'm embarrassed, but you guys know what I mean. Like taking pictures in public and taking videos. I would love to get a video of it though for my channel. I think that'd be super cool. Let me make sure I can get all the way over. Perfect. I can get all the way over. Okay. I'm going to start where I stopped. Needle down, needle up. Oh, what is that I see? I see a bobbin thread looking at me. Bam! Chicka chicka boom boom. Take that with my tweezers so I don't lose it. There we go. Pull it out. Press your foot down. I'm going to hover over where I stopped on my last round. I'm going to start stitching, do a little back stitch, and keep going. Courtney, are you going to go to the quilt walk? It's a bit of a drive for you, but you should definitely go. Mending things. But I have to put that off for a while, so glad it's done. I have lots of videos to make long arming. Tell me about it, man. There's so many videos to be made. finished that pass. I'm pretty pleased with how it's turning out. There's no like blaringly obvious little sections where I'm like, oh Lord, I can't give this to somebody. I think it's turning out pretty well. I'm so happy with this. This is honestly really fun too with the meandering lines. I don't have to think too much about it. I can just doodle away. So we're gonna unhook. You guys know the drill. You know the drill by now. Unhoop. Reposition. Hoop. Unhoop. Reposition. Hoop. We need a song. A cutie song. That's what we need. Okay. I'm gonna rest that in just here so I need to get like maybe put a table next to me so that I have somewhere to rest the clamps. And then I'm gonna move my quilt up and over, repositioning. I see that Austin texted me, so I'll probably see what that was. We just throw the threads on the ground. Should we check the back? Should we? Or should we just, pray and hope for the best? I'm gonna get this over. I'm gonna get it over. I'm gonna be a bit obnoxious with it. Just a bit, so that I can really get underneath it. Right where I want. I think that's gonna be good. Right there. So let me grab this. Are you guys excited for Heather and I? For our Friday night live? We will be on tomorrow night around 9. That's the time that works the best. She's got a little baby just like me. So, getting the kiddos down so that we can chat and sew together. And maybe I'll work on my FPP tomorrow night because I would really like to get that done. But I also want to make sure that this weekend I'm not super just focused on quilting. I want to be able to be present with my family. Father's Day coming. Move this down just a little bit. It's like finding the perfect balance of getting it super, super close to where you left off, but not too close to where you are bumping into it. Like you want to have enough space so that you can get up high on your project. I'm going to scoop these down. I think I'm getting more comfortable with it. Good night, Kim. Check while it's not attached. I will definitely check it on the next round. I don't think I'm far enough over, so let's bring it on over. It's probably going to stop right about, yeah. I need to move it over just a hair. It's kind of frustrating because I'll like get it to a good spot, I feel like, and then just in the process of getting it hooped on and trying to align it, it'll shift back over. So I'm going to move it over just a little bit more. Re-hoop up here. I'm going to find a better overhead option for you guys too, because I see in our future a lot of nights where we are on the cutie frame just quilting away, and this is not laying straight. But yeah, I would definitely, so as you can tell, I'm still getting the hang of all of this. I'm not a master by any means, but I've had enough experience with it and enough time with this to totally recommend it. If you're on the fence with it, say you really do want a long arm, say you want to, add a little bit more to the quilting on your quilts that you're doing, I can't recommend this enough. Like, go for it. If you can afford it, maybe you even maybe you do want a long arm and you have the means of getting a long arm, but maybe you don't have the space for it. Like, not only does this have great functionality, comparable to what you could possibly do on a long arm, free motion wise at least, but it's so much smaller. So much smaller. So maybe you don't have a giant room dedicated to your sewing space and you want, you know, long arm adjacent capabilities. This would be perfect for you, especially if you want to do more FMQ and not necessarily like pantos. You could do pantos with this as well. Obviously, they will not be digitalized unless you have a machine that has Pro Stitch, you know, attached to your frame, which is definitely another option. But say you're like me, just a regular old Joe, and you don't have necessarily the most space to fit in a long arm. Ooh, guys! I'm rolling up the top and I'm seeing the backing, and the stitches are looking great. So far, I don't see any problematic areas. Cross your fingers. Getting to the point though where I'm gonna possibly have to loosen up my bungee cords just a hair, because the roll up top is becoming thicker and thicker as we are progressing down the quilt. So my tight little clamp, or my tight little bungee cords, are not getting all the way over to reach to the clamp. So very easy. Just pull it, loosen it up a little bit, and then make sure to re-clamp those extra tails so that you don't sew it into your project. Okay, guys, look at that. I feel like I did that repositioning so well. Did you say you can do pantographs with your machine? Okay, so here's what I was talking about. I was talking about, say you want to do pantographs and you get a cutie frame. You can do it one of two ways. So my machine does not, I don't have Pro Stitcher, but you can put whatever machine on your frame. So you could have a Moxie, you could have an Amara, you could have a Baby Lock, you could have whatever. You could put it on this frame and say you have Pro Stitcher attached to that machine. You could do a pantograph that way, or the way that I can do it, because I don't have Pro Stitcher, is I have a laser that Grace Company sells, and you attach it to your frame, and what I would need to do is I would reverse the frame to where my panto, I would get a long strip of paper, and I would use that laser and I would trace it, like use my light and trace the pantograph. And while I'm doing that, my machine would be quilting that pantograph on the quilt. So that's a way to get around, say you want to do some pantographs or like a specific design, that's a way that you could do that without spending $5,000 to get the Pro Stitching software or, you know, whatever. So yes, there is a way to do pantographs this way. I really wanted to just do free motion quilting though, so come on, get on out there. Let's just do it this way. Alright, I'm going to start off with my project. That way I don't have to backstitch. And of course, okay, before I get too far ahead, I'm going to make my markers too. Because now we're getting into the part where the panel is starting, and the panel is black. So this thread is going to show up. Oh my gosh, my hands are like messing this tape up. So if I have any weirdness going on, it's going to show up really, really bold. So I'm moving all the way over here. I know that my machine is hitting right at that spot, so I'm going to take my masking tape and I'm going to mark it just a little bit before. So let's say we want to end right about here. And then I'll make another one reach down. Okay, so I know I need to like stay within this area. We're gonna move on over here. We're gonna pull our thread up again. And it's gonna be a pain in the butt. I can see just a tiny little tuft. Let's see if we can get it. And it's gone. Here we go. All right. Here we go, guys. Good night. Hi, Sandra. I loved catching your live today. You are so talented, by the way. I love your quotes. I love that you shared those today. That sampler quote was beautiful. I'm going to pull this thread down. I'm not sure this is like the most safe way to do it. But I don't want it over my foot. There we go. Hi, Sandra. All right, here we go. Press your foot down. Press my button. Stitch in a little section real quick. All right, this is more on like a black section, so you're gonna be able to see this a little bit better. So let's take my phone off this little mount and show you guys my meander. I'm pretty proud of it, you know, it's not perfect. I did get to some sections, so you can see like right here is not as meandery-ish. That's a new word, guys, because I was hitting my throat, the back of my throat on my machine. So I did get into some pickles in some areas, but overall, I'm really proud of this. The trick is, perfection's not an option. That's out of the window. I don't care about perfection. It's not going to happen. What I do care about, though, is consistency. Finding just, you know, a little bit of consistency so that the spacing and, you know, the shape of the curves are a little bit similar. It'll make it look a lot more professional. So I'm trying to keep the density and the shape being consistent so that it looks a little bit more polished. Okay. And like I said earlier, I did check the back. Thank you. I did check the back. Well, thank you for showing this, Beth. I really appreciate it, and I am definitely going to be checking into one, so everybody have a good night. Good night, Beverly. You have a wonderful night. I'll see you soon, I hope. Get some sleep. Tomorrow is Friday. All right, let's cut our threads over here, and let's flip it on over, because I will probably be calling it a night as well. I don't even know what time it is. It's almost 10 o'clock. I think that's a great stopping point. So let's take it off the frame. I can reposition it so that the next time I come down here, it's ready to go. and I don't have to hassle with it as much. I am loving this. I really do want to take a picture of it for her and show her, but then again, I also want it to be kind of surprise. I'm really proud of this, guys. I'm really, really proud. One, I'm proud because I went for it. I could have easily taken this on over to my machine and done some straight line quilting to avoid possibly failing. I mean, it is a little different with it being a client quilt, but I'm just proud that I went for it. That's all it takes. Some bravery and just saying, you know what, I'm going to do it. I can do this. And I can only do it if I continue to practice and I continue to try. If I don't try, I'm not going to be any good at this anytime soon. So I'm really happy with this. I take this as great progress for this machine. And when I hop off here, I'm probably going to take a picture and send it to her because I think she's going to love it. I also have a pattern for a cape. So I want to make this little girl a cape so that she can wear it to chemo. I just want to put some magic into her life, you know what I mean? Just want to put some magic in her life. But I thought since she's really into it, I could make her a cape and she could wear it to the hospital. If she is unable to bring her quilts with her, she can wear her cape and feel some magic, feel some joy. I kind of got a little ahead of myself, but I did also get an amigurumi pattern for a lightsaber. So I think it'd be really cool to make her a lightsaber as well. Crochet her one. Good night. Have a great weekend. Thank you for stopping by and chatting with us for a little bit. Have a good Father's Day with family. I'm just repositioning this so that when I come back, honestly, I don't have a lot. Maybe I should just do it. You know what? We're just going to do it. And then I'll leave it. Because if I keep repositioning it, I'm going to just want to keep quilting it. I was originally thinking of doing a meander with a star, but I'm just going to do meander. That's what I'm comfortable with. So. Let's just quilt all the way over to the edge, and then I'll let you guys go for the night. And we can all get to prepping for our Friday. All right, here we go. What are we going to do? Just in case, we're going to get our masking tape out. This is going to help me know where I need to stop before I get stopped. You know what I mean? Because if I get stopped, the stitching's not going to be cute. So I know I don't want to go any further than that point, and I can go all the way up the edge. So I'm happy with that. Let's go on over to where we stopped. Press your foot down, thread or needle down, needle up. I think that was the bobbin hook. Pull it out. If I have to put my presser foot up to get it, that's fine. Come on. There we go. Presser foot back down. I say that because it's so easy to forget. Replays work. Oh man. Okay, here we go. Here we go, y'all. right off the edge. Yay! We've made it halfway down our quilt. I think that is a great stopping point. I will be on live tomorrow night. So let me know in the comments, would you rather see me finish quilting this quilt or do some prep for an FPP pattern? Hi Ellen, how are you doing? So good to see you here. Let me show you what we've been up to. So now that you can actually see with the black Darth Vader panel, you can see that stitching a little bit better. And I'm really happy with that. I think that looks great. I've tried to keep the spacing consistent. I've tried to keep, the movement consistent, just really fluid, and I'm pretty happy with that. I have to remember this is going to be covered up by binding just a hair, so I'm not too concerned with the edges, but I think that this looks pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm proud of myself. Oh, you don't want to see the ceiling. So I'm going to turn off this camera, give my phone a break. We've repositioned and quilted halfway through our quilt. So I have another half to go. Let me take you guys over here. So this is the great cutie frame. Quilt the whole quilt, please. Ellen, you want to see me quilt the whole quilt? Oh, for tomorrow night? Is that what you're saying? I can definitely quilt. I can finish quilting this tomorrow night with Heather. Oh, goodness. I don't know what that did, but okay. So, thank you, Marie. I appreciate it. Like you said, I'm pretty proud. So, my journey with the cutie kind of started off rough because I got the cutie and I was so excited to use it. Will you do videos about the cutie frame? Yes, I would love to. I've just been trying so hard to practice and actually have a little bit like a level of comfortability with it because I have got a lot to go with this thing, but it started off rough because I had so many deadlines. I had a lot of projects that I had to get done in a certain time frame. So I was focused on that. I wasn't focused on, hey, I should get the cutie up and moving. And another thing is that the Juki is new to me as well. So not only am I learning the cutie, I'm learning a brand new sewing machine at the same time while trying to maintain my deadlines for testing and quilting and birthdays, presents, all that. And so when I finally got the time to sit down and practice, my stitch regulator was going crazy. So I would press the button and it wouldn't do anything. And then I tried moving it around and it would sporadically start stitching super, super fast. And then it would cut its thread. So I thought that this thing was going to pop out a needle somewhere into my eye or something. I was so scared to use it. So I called Grace's company and I was like, hey, this is what's going on. I just purchased the stitch regulator part of the whole bundle a week ago and it's not working really well. It's scaring me. And they were just like, okay, we'll send you a new one. No questions, none, no hassle, none of that. And so I really appreciated them for doing that. So they sent the replacement. I had hooked it on and I've had no issues with it. It's worked really well. The only thing that I will say is that the start and stop button on the stitch regulator sometimes is a little hit or miss. Sometimes you'll have to press it a few times for it to recognize that you're pressing it. So you'll be stitching a little bit longer or you're trying to get it started and you're pressing it, and then it starts randomly on you. So that's my only complaint so far with the stitch regulator. Sometimes that button is a little iffy, but other than that, it's been amazing. The clamps are great quality. There's been several times where I'm like, oh crap, did I just bust that clamp open? It's great materials, very good quality. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. And tonight was super fun. I wanted to come on here. This probably would have been pretty boring to watch me do compared to quilting. I have about 50 pages of FPP templates to glue together and cut out so that I can work on it in the next couple weeks for a new test that I'm doing. It is Jane Austen. So if there's any Jane Austen fans, keep a lookout because I will be making up a pattern of her. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I wanted to come on here and hang out with you guys. I haven't been live for a while. I haven't been doing a great job of keeping up on my videos, but live is just a lot easier for me because I don't have to like plan ahead. I can just be like, hey, I'm going to go to the basement and go live and hang out with my friends. There's no editing. There's none of that. So I will be making some cutie videos. And if you are interested, I will mention it again. There is a great channel already out there dedicated pretty much to the cutie frame, and it's called The Closet Quilter. She shares amazing tips and, tricks and how it all works out. So in the meantime, while you wait for me to make some videos about it, I would definitely recommend going to her channel and giving her some love. She has some great videos, and I think it's cool. The Closet Quilter, she has one set up in her closet, and she just makes quilts. Come on, that's amazing. So that is all I have for you guys tonight. I will be back on here tomorrow night with our friend Heather from Creating Quilts. We go on live every Friday night at around 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, depending on our babies, on whether they go down or not. So we'll be back on, and we'll be quilting away and having fun and chatting with you guys in the chat. I watch her. I love the cutie frame as well. Or you have the cutie frame as well. Do you use it a lot, Ellen? What do you think about it? I really love her videos. She's amazing. Thanks, Beth. Have a good night. Good night, Tracy. You have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. I always love chatting with you. Yeah, I'll let you go. Ellen, you can message me in the Discord group and we can chat about the cutie. And if you have any tips or hacks or anything you want to send my way, I would be so, so grateful. But I'll chat with you in Discord, and I will see the rest of you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time with Heather. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.